Well, we finally made it to my dream. Right, Matilda? Right. Good thing she doesn't speak English. She would have started running, right? I don't know. Right here, right now, is exactly what I imagined. The horse was the scariest part in my imagination. Look at me, I'm filthy. I need to go wash up in the creek. It's just a little cold today. And we're in gorgeous terrain. Yeah, just beautiful. Izquierda, izquierda. And buena, buena. No, no. Izquierda. Échate. Échate. Oh, she's probably still going around, to be frank. Let's go see if she did a good job. I also just don't want the sheep to cross over. Échate. Because that valley's a slippery slope and like right at the end of my grazing permit. I got thousands of acres that way. So we're going to be slowly working our way that way. But I just kind of wanted to use up the rest of this valley over here before tomorrow and the day after we go up there. But I think tomorrow morning is going to kind of just be that spot over there. I think tonight we're just going to curve around by my camp and then we'll camp on top of that hill. And then tomorrow day we're going to just kind of go through the edge of this forest. Not really in the forest because that's terrifying. But through the edge here. And then they'll camp over there near the salt that I gave them. Unfortunately, they did not find it today. And then, yeah, we'll just go up there. Yeah, so my grazing permit's right on the CDT, which when I was 18 is what I had hiked along for half of it, stopping at encampment just like 15 miles north of here, trail miles. So I'm pretty much right where I left off on the CDT. So as far as like my life and adventures go, it feels like we're picking up where I left off almost, in a sense. I don't know, it's quite beautiful. I had these dreams of doing all the through hikes and all of the everything. Because I was like a terminally online kid. Initially, it was like escapism, thinking about wanting to live on a sailboat. But I was a kid from Utah. And then, in high school, I was like, oh shit, I don't want to go to college. I want to go live. I've had open heart surgery. I could die any day now. I want to go do shit. I don't want to go sit in a cubicle waiting for retirement. So I decided to go hike across the country. And started on the Canadian border. Confused, learning about the world. How to do your laundry in 1,000 different laundry machines, not just your mom's, with your mom helping you every time you have a question. Wander around the real world. Addicted to weed, cigarettes, and learning what it means to just be fucked up all the time and how tired you are. And trying to do this very difficult thing of hiking across the country. And in that process, I learned so much. Many of the lessons came years later. Burnt out, was lonely, hurting. I think a lot of the loneliness kind of stemmed from, You're just stoned all the time to the point where you're not even with yourself, which that makes you feel lonely if you're not even with yourself. But on top of that, you're just like, can't connect with anybody. See, it's just kind of this compounding loneliness. That hurted. That hurt a lot. But we're not gonna go anywhere, buddy. But yeah, and then we went and hiked the Colorado Trail a couple of years later, after kind of COVID and all that. And I was with dear friends. And this lonely... Matilda, no! H-A-T-A. It's actually kind of good because I didn't want him to cross into this valley. Buena, Matilda. Buena, buena. Look at her. She's just posted up. Still feeling lonely. Even though, you know, you're with people. And honestly, I think it's just the drugs. It severs you from yourself. You don't know yourself. And, like, if you don't even have yourself, you don't have anyone. Like, that's the epitome of loneliness if you can't even entertain yourself. And I think there's a version of loneliness where, like, you're with yourself too much and you need other people. But if you don't even have yourself, that just aches. And so, like, despite having the social aspect, I felt so alone. And then a couple of years later, well, 1 year later, I ran off to Alaska and was a line cook. That one was a different kind of loneliness of just not really wanting to connect to people. I like walked into a situationship just before, didn't really know it, and I was like, I think I was lonely because I was feeling confused in the dating world. And then, like, you went out to Alaska and I was like, I kind of just don't want to be vulnerable in that way. That hurted a lot. And but also, you know, everyone, I just didn't want to engage with people in the way they wanted to engage. I just kind of want to be like a stoner, mind my business, which caused its own kind of loneliness. I connected with some folks at the end, but then everyone was, you know, toxic, and those relationships obviously were gonna fail because they were built on staying up until 6, 7 a.m. after a night shift, just drinking and smoking, sleeping for 6 to 7 hours. Ooh. And then going to cook again, you know? And, you know, just like lots of long nights, you don't know what you're doing. A year after that, went and hiked the Arizona Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. Completed them both. Very proud of that accomplishment. Met amazing people along the way. Started it with some of my 2 best friends at the time, who I hiked the Colorado Trail with. And I think I really tried to fight the loneliness, you know, because at this time I still thought it was an external loneliness. Like, I need to set roots, and the loneliness did hurt in that way. I was like, I am a rootless person. Every year I just keep going somewhere, because in the middle of all this, my family and I moved to Oregon, you know, and here come some of our stragglers. And I don't know, I think I learned a lot of lessons about building community. Matilda, no más, izquierda. Buena, buena, buena. Izquierda. Puchile. And, oh, come on, horse. And so when I came back from that trail, many stories to tell about that trail, but I think the over theme that is starting to appear in this is loneliness and being out here. I worked at Boys and Girls Club met my amazing partner. And Puchale, Pucha, Pucha, Buena Matilda, Puchale, Puchale. It's hard to get her to, that requires, Puchale, she's a timid dog. Échate, échate, hey, no más, échate. Bad dog. God damn it. I hate it when I have to yell like that because then it gets them riled up. No! So, alright, pause on the loneliness story. What just happened there? I mean, she's a puppy, so like everything's a learning experience. I'm not truly mad with her. You just gotta like, sometimes I'm mad with her though. But how this works is, no, échate. So when I give her the lay down command, she's gotta lay down like that. Especially in scenarios like that, when you're trying to push sheep, lay down, stop the pressure. We don't want them to run. We just want to turn them around, get them walking. And what happened there is there's a herding mindset and then there's a play chase mindset. And so she's been sitting here staring at the sheep, building up this energy. Like she's just sitting there shaking. She's like, I'm so fucking excited. I wanna make these sheep move. I wanna get them to go. So she was feeling angsty and ready. And I told her to push him multiple times. And like I said, it's a hard thing for a dog to do. It requires, she's kind of a timid dog. It requires some bravery. But as they turned around, started to run, instead of herding, it triggered this chase instinct. And I had already told her to go, 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 which built up this angst in her. And so the chase and the angst combined made her want to blow him up more. And so she does pretty good with her laydowns. Like, we've not worked for a while today. Like, if we were working a lot right now, she would just start to she'd get into herding mode and not be in the, like, eager to work mode and be better about it. And she's still learning. She's 7 months old, 8 months old. But, échate. So yeah, I mean, like not a bad situation. She listened. I just had to, I wish I could talk at a regular tone all the time. And I think as she gets older, that'll come through. And I need to practice more with the regular tone in less severe situations so that we get used to it. Because I think that was a mistake I made at the beginning of our training, was that I was stressed because all of this was new to me. I would lose my temper with her. And then, so like training was kind of at like a level 7 instead of a level 3. And we didn't train in a pin or anything like that. So she just started on, like, this is some of the hardest stuff a herding dog can do, is like stuff out here. Like, she's not going and collecting him quite yet. She does that a little bit. She's done it a couple times successfully. That's the hardest stuff they can do. But like, you know, typically you start them in a small pen with like 5 or 6 sheep. And, no, échate. And, I need her to get used to me moving around the sheep while she lays. Listo. Buena Matilda. But yeah, I don't know. What was I saying? Derecha. Derecha. Ay, no más. Derecha. Ay, no. 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 Sticky dog. Buena, buena, buena. Ay, no. Derecha. Buena, buena, buena. See, that's the hard mode. When you start in a pen, you can teach her to go all the way around him. Derecha. But she learned her directions. No más. Échate. Échate. No. Échate. Buena. She learned her directions just kind of out here. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Damn it. I hate it when I know I was standing a little too close to him. HTA! God damn it, you cunt. That's when the, like, frustration starts to come out. So, you know, you watch all the sheep, you're like, I fucked that up. She didn't do too good. And here we are. So we'll go catch them on the other side of these trees and make sure they just keep going into that valley. It'll be ping pong for about 10 minutes and then they'll go back to what I want them to do, which is fanning out like they just were. So back to loneliness. Where was I? PCT. Came back, met my beautiful partner. Felt rooted in Oregon finally. Couldn't find a sheep job, which I think ended up being a blessing in disguise because I worked on a local grass seed farm, made some connections. I hope to work for them again. And I hope to graze their fields eventually. And just, like when I get back, I just want to hopefully take my old boss out to dinner and see if I can just ask him about what it... Hey, no! No! I see, now she just wants to work and she goes and looks for work. It's bad. That's bad. She needs to stick within like a 30-foot perimeter of me until I give her a command to do something. Also, I didn't tell her to stand up. God damn it, what a bitch. That's alright. That's on me. I would have just left her over there. I forgot. Yeah, and then I think that was really good. And through Boys and Girls Club, met lots of local people and families, local families, because that's what makes community is family. It's kids, it's the intergenerational living. Community isn't being amongst your cohorts. That's fucking fraternity and bullshit. Hey, no, listo. Hey, listo. I need to do better about teaching her that one. I had overused it at the beginning, and now it's just kind of a nothing word for her. Buena, Matilda. Buena. A little yawn of like, you fucking asshole, I want to work. There's Lucky. I wonder where she was at. It's kind of a bad sign. Yeah, and then we come out here sheep herding. This was my dream for years. The last hike I knew I wanted to do was that Arizona Trail PCT. And honestly, it satiated this hiking hunger. And I'd learned this lesson of, I'm not going to learn my loneliness lesson out there. You're just going to be an uprooted person. Which is funny, because I'm a shepherd. But you're going to be this uprooted person, disconnected from the land, from production. I think it's very important for people to be producing. Maybe I'll talk about that another day. No! Listo! Stop being a bastard. See, I sound really annoyed like I'm coming out of nowhere, but all day it's always like, don't work. And I'm not sure how to teach her that. And I think some of it's just because she's a puppy. But it's really fucking annoying just to be over and over again. Buena, Matilda. Buena. Ooh, we keep getting scattered. That's okay. That's what it's like being out here. And yeah, I'm not gonna find what I'm looking for out there. There's nothing to find. I think if your plan's being a full-time traveler, you're jaded by the capitalist system and you need to find community. We can't just be full-time travelers. That is poison for the soul. People who are full-time travelers, I have found, are not very enjoyable people to be around. They seem a little empty. And also, I think it's kind of spiritually corrupt. I'm not even a spiritual or religious guy at all. I'm like full on atheist. But like the soul of a person, I think needs to be tied to community, other people. You need to have obligations to people, whether or not it sucks, whether or not you hate it. In fact, I think the fact that you have obligations and you really don't want to do it is kind of what it means to be human. I don't want to get up in the middle of the night and go change a baby's diaper, but that's what it fucking means to be a parent. I don't really want to help my neighbor move or my sibling move. But god damn it, that's what it means to be a parent. And then you get or not a parent, a person in a community. And you get to learn to like it. And you get to learn to feel loved and give love. And I think working is a big part of that too. And full-time travelers aren't working. So I think that kind of was an aspect of the loneliness. Because you just felt disconnected from yourself, the land, community. We have to create. We can't just consume. And when you're just consuming, and it ties into my phone thing, when you're on the internet, on the phones and shit, it smells like poop. Did that dog just poop? I don't know, the horse is pooping. Then, yeah, when you're disconnected, it's bad for the soul, and you feel lonely. Let's, what am I doing here? We're gonna go down over here. I'm too busy talking. Sorry, Steve. It's also good training for Steve. He's a low motivation guy sometimes. So I think just wandering around kind of helps teach him that, no, we're just riding. We don't have to be on a mission to get anywhere. It's the only time he tries to move. And I think to wrap it all up, the conclusion is, I have not felt too lonely out here. I miss people. I wish I had people to talk to. I wish I could hang out with people. I mean, I'm recording videos talking to the phone. Like that, obviously, I'm lonely in a broader sense. But my soul doesn't ache. Every time I crawl into bed at night, I don't want to cry. Like, years past. I think a lot of this too, just caveat, it's being 18, 19, 20, 21. Those are angsty, hard years, especially when you grow up in American suburbia. Our culture doesn't invite you to grow up. And so, HT. So that is an aspect of it. And I think that's worth mentioning. So my boy Steve. So yeah, in conclusion, I feel like a lot of the reasons why it doesn't hurt is, first off, I'm living one of my true dreams right now. In one of the place just outside the San Juans of Colorado, where the dream was born, just south of the Idaho sheep station, where the dream was born. This was the landscape where the dream was conceived and grew and became an obsession. And landscapes just like this in Oregon. And with that said, I think that helps a lot. But I think the other big part is feeling the love for my partner and building a stable relationship going into this. Not that you have to be partnered up to not feel lonely, but just building that stable relationship going into this helps you a ton with just like feeling centered and having friends that I've built up stable relationships with that I can call throughout the day. Just helps a ton, just feeling centered, knowing I'm going to go back and have community accept me with open arms. The dogs help a lot. And then knowing I'm creating product and value. I am obsessed with natural fiber and wool. I have a knitting project out here. I am interacting with the landscape. I am moving the sheep to make sure we're not overgrazing. I am doing something in the world, and I'm not just taking. You know, when I'm done with this, it's gonna be what? Quick maths. 700 times 130, 120. Big numbers of meat. Big numbers of meat. That feeds a lot of people. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I'm rooted to the land, because I think that's another part of traveling, is you're never anywhere long enough to be familiar, especially when you're through hiking. This area I've been in, today's day 2, you know, 2-3 more days in this general valley area before we get up over that hill. This whole thing would have taken half a morning, less. I mean, this valley here would have taken 30 minutes, an hour. But like this general area where I could see the same terrain, half a morning. I don't know. It's different. And I think everyone should travel. Don't get me wrong. I think everyone should feel lonely from time to time. I think everyone should discover these things. But I do not think anyone should be a full-time traveler or have any of those fake jobs I keep mentioning I'll talk about. I think we should all have community. Something worth doing. Look at that good dog. Sorry for getting mad at you, Matilda. You're perfect. Except for the things you're not perfect at.